My name is Margaret Sullivan. I'm 68 years old, and for the last 8 years, I believed I was the luckiest mother alive because my son David and his wife Clara came to my house every single Sunday for dinner. I would start cooking on Saturday night, brine the chicken, peel the potatoes by hand the way David liked them when he was 10, bake the chocolate pie with the crackly top he could never resist. They always arrived at 4 sharp. David kissed my cheek, Clara handed me a bottle of cheap wine for the cook, and then, after the plates were cleared, they would fold their hands on my tablecloth and say, "Mom, we need to talk." That talk was never about how my arthritis was doing or whether I was lonely. It was always about money. $14,000 so Clara could get her life coaching certification. $9,000 for the security deposit on the bigger apartment when the baby comes, the baby that 8 years later still hadn't come. $4,200 when the transmission died on the car I had co-signed for. $800 a month just until we get on our feet. I wrote the checks because David would take my hand, look at me with those same blue eyes he'd had at 6 years old and say, "You're the best mom in the world. We couldn't do this without you." And I believed him. When David decided to go back to school for his master's degree, I was the one who paid every semester, every book, every parking pass. I ate canned soup for dinner so he could have organic groceries. I canceled the cruise with my sister so he wouldn't have to take out more loans. I told myself, this is the last big thing. Once he has the degree, he'll get the big job and I'll finally be able to rest. The graduation was scheduled for the first Saturday in May. I booked the flight to Boston 6 months in advance. I bought the navy linen suit David always said made me look classy. I ordered the engraved watch, to David, love, Mom, May 2025, and had it gift-wrapped in navy paper with a silver bow. I even paid the $275 guest fee so I could sit in the reserved family section. 2 nights before I was supposed to fly out, my phone rang. "Mom," David said, and I could hear Clara whispering in the background, "We have a problem. Clara's parents surprised us and flew in from Florida. The ceremony only gives us 4 guest tickets and, well, her dad gets really anxious in crowds. We're going to FaceTime you from the restaurant afterward, okay? You understand, right?" I understood so well that I hung up, went to the closet, and took the navy suit out of its garment bag. I stood there holding it for a long time. Then I put it back and booked a refundable ticket just in case he changed his mind. He didn't. On graduation day, I sat alone in my living room with my laptop open to the university live stream. The camera panned across the reserved family section. 23 people were laughing, hugging, taking selfies with my son in the cap and gown I had paid for. Clara's parents were front row center. Clara's college roommate was there, her cousin from Denver, the neighbor who just happened to be in town, and in the very middle of the row, perfectly framed by the camera, was a seat with a little white card taped to it, reserved, Mom. It was occupied by Clara's maid of honor holding a mimosa. I closed the laptop, walked to the kitchen, and canceled the automatic $800 transfer that had left my account every third of the month for 8 years. Then I blocked both their numbers. For 48 hours, my phone was blissfully quiet. Then the new numbers started. "Mom, the car broke down payment is due and the dealership won't hold it." "Mom, I'm short on rent this month. The landlord is threatening eviction." "Mom, why are you doing this? This isn't you." On the 5th day, the doorbell rang. I watched on the new Ring camera I'd installed the locksmith the week before. David stood on my porch in the same cap and gown, holding a bouquet of grocery store roses and that sheepish little boy smile he used when he was 8 and broke the living room window with a baseball. I opened the door exactly 4 inches. "David," I cut him off. My voice was so calm it scared even me. "Do you see that empty chair behind you in all the photos?" He blinked. That was supposed to be mine. I paid for the degree, the gown, the watch in your pocket, the dinner you're about to expense to my credit card, and you gave my seat to someone who has never sent you so much as a birthday card." His mouth opened and closed. "Mom, we can fix this. Let us in. We'll explain." "No explanation needed," I said. "You already did. 4 tickets, immediate family only. I understand perfectly." I closed the door. He rang the bell 17 times. I turned on the radio and made tea. 2 weeks later, an envelope arrived, thick, creamy paper, Clara's perfect handwriting. Inside were the official graduation portraits, David and Clara glowing, surrounded by their 23 guests. In the very center, circled in red pen by me, was the empty chair with the little white reserved mom sign still taped to it. Across the bottom, I wrote in black Sharpie, "Seat reserved for the woman who paid for everything." Apparently, she didn't qualify as immediate family. I mailed it back with no return address. That was 6 months ago. David's new number texts me sometimes. I don't reply. Clara's mother tried the "we're worried about your health" route until I told her the next call would be from my lawyer. They stopped. The watch I engraved for him? I took it to the jeweler and had the back re-engraved. "To Margaret, love, Margaret." It fits my wrist perfectly now. Last week, I wore the navy suit to dinner with 6 women from my watercolor class. Women who laugh at my jokes, who ask how I am before they ask for anything else, who split the check without doing mental math about whose mother can afford it. When the waiter brought the dessert menu, one of them raised her glass and said, "To Margaret, who finally took the best seat in the house, her own." I smiled so wide my cheeks hurt. The chicken on Sundays still gets brined, the potatoes still get peeled by hand, the chocolate pie still comes out of the oven with the crackly top. But now the table is set for 7 women who love me for free, and there is not a single empty chair in the room. For the first 30 days, I didn't hear human sound from them. No texts, no calls from burner phones, no cars creeping past the house at 2 a.m. Just silence. I used it like medicine. I repainted the spare bedroom that had been a graveyard of their old furniture and half-finished business ideas. I threw out the mattress they'd ruined with red wine, the desk with the cigarette burns, even though neither of them smoked. They'd let friends crash there. I bought a new bed, new curtains the color of sunrise, and turned the room into a studio. An eagle stands where David's broken dreams used to lean against the wall. I started painting again for the first time since he was born. Big, angry reds at first, then softer blues the day I realized I wasn't afraid of the doorbell anymore. On day 31, the dam broke. David showed up at 7:03 a.m. on a Tuesday with 2 venti lattes and that sheepish little boy smile he used when he was 8 and broke the living room window. I watched him on the Ring camera for a full minute before I opened the door. "David, can we not do this through a screen? I brought your favorite." "David, the last time you brought my favorite, you needed $12,000 for parking because you'd spent the rent money on bottle service. Put the coffee on the porch and state your business." He actually looked shocked that I remembered the amount. He set the cups down like they were fragile. "Clara's pregnant," he blurted. "We weren't going to tell you like this, but we need your help. The new place fell through, and the doctor says she has to be off her feet, and—" I laughed. I laughed so hard I had to hold the doorframe. He waited, confused, until I caught my breath. "Congratulations," I said, wiping my eyes. "Send me the baby shower registry. I'll buy one thing, whatever is cheapest, and have it shipped. After that, you're on your own." I closed the door. He left the coffees to go cold.